What it do, what it do, what it do. We back in action, man, for another edition of Giants Conversations. I'm your host, NYG22, aka Unpopular Opinion Sports. And we here talking all Giants all the time, man, with Giants Conversations, man. So checking out, man, the Giants preseason game in action Friday night against the Lions. It was a 21-16 loss, but we got a lot to talk about, man. Actual football, y'all. Actual football, man. We back. It's in effect, man. Football is finally here, man. And we actually have a game to talk about, man. And not just, off-season stuff and rumors and things like that. So we actually going to be talking about football today. We're going to be breaking down. We're going to be looking at some of the things that happened on the field Friday night. Of course, the starters did not play, but there's a lot to talk about when it comes to the reserves and some of the people that's on the roster bubble. But that being said, like I always like to do, I want to check into my audience. I want to check into the chat, man. How y'all doing out there, man? Deception, man, says, let's go. That's right. Let's go, man. There's a lot to get into, man. We Giants fans over here, man. So we talking Giants. So let's get right into it. Let me grab my banner and let's get the show popping, man. We ain't gonna waste no time today, man, because we're gonna get into this, man. So 21-16, Lions over the Giants. Of course, it's preseason. We're not worried about the so-called score, or who wins the game, but we are worried about is who looked well, who didn't look well, who played, who didn't, so on and so forth. So let's just start it off right here. Let me throw the link in the chat for anybody that want to come through. And we talking Giants. So just to let y'all know. All right. 21-16. What did we learn? Okay, let's start it off. First of all, the starters, the offensive starters, a lot of them didn't play. A lot of the defensive starters did not play. Of course, there was no Daniel Jones. There was no Saquon Barkley. There was no KT, Aziz, Dex, Leonard Williams. None of those guys played. Adoree Jackson did not play. Slayton didn't play. Campbell didn't play. Waller didn't play. So we're not talking about a lot of the big name players, starters for the Giants. But what we are going to talk about is some of the rookies. I believe all the rookies played, if I'm not mistaken, and some of the guys, some of the veterans that's on the roster bubble. Let's start with, first of all, we're gonna do it like this. We're gonna start with our number one pick, which was Deonte Banks, first round draft pick by the New York Giants. Traded up to get Deonte Banks, and my notes, man, he looked decent. He looked decent. He looked pretty decent. Didn't give up any catches or anything like that. So he had a overall, I'm looking at PFF numbers here. He had an overall 70.5 PFF grade. So pretty good showing by Deonte Banks. He was in good position. Nothing really noticeable that he did well or good, but he was just in good position the whole night. Like I said, didn't surrender a catch. And he played particularly well, man. That's what you want to see. You want to see growth. Of course, you're going against the Lions reserves, but doesn't matter. He was matched up a lot, I believe, on Jameson Williams, the Lions pick from last year. And then he played well. So, holding up against one of their top receivers that's supposed to be coming into this season is a good job. Also, shout out to Trey Hawkins. Trey Hawkins is the steal of the draft for the New York Giants. I do believe that he is playing solid against not only his own team, but, of course, the Detroit Lions, man, in the practices and on the field last night. Played well, helped force the interception that was made by Pinnock. We're going to talk about him in just a second, man. But Trey Hawkins is going to allow Wink Martindale to do some different things with his defense. Because if you can put Hawkins on the outside with Deonte Banks on the other outside, you can then move Adoree Jackson in the slot to match up against other teams, better slot receivers. Or if a team wants to move one of their outside receivers to the inside, you have a guy like Adoree Jackson that can match up with him. So shout out to Trey Hawkins. Shout out to Deonte Banks. Also, want to talk about Pinnock. Jason Pinnock is definitely showing out on the field. He was basically the star of the show last night for the defense, and I think the Giants' defense overall, most of the players that I got highlighted on my list are defensive players. I thought the defense really impressed me. A lot of the guys on the defense impressed me, and Jason Pinnock was by far the most impressive. And I have said this on this show and on other platforms that, I believe he's going to be the starter, and I believe he is the Giants' best safety, and that includes Xavier McKinney right now. See, y'all, I'm not really – I like Xavier McKinney, man, but he has to show me more. Last 2 years, actually hit with his injuries and different things like that, and inconsistencies, so I need to see more. But Pinnock is showing you. He's on the field showing you, that he probably is right now the Giants' best safety, man. He was by far the best safety, the best defensive player, actually, on the field for the Giants Friday night. So he had an interception, had several tackles for loss. He was everywhere, in great position, man. Pass breakups, you name it, man. So shout out to Pinnock for doing his thing out there, man. Like I said, it's a preseason game, so we don't want to get too excited, man. But I saw the same thing from this kid last season. I saw the same thing. I saw the ability to diagnose plays. I saw, he's in good position on pass plays. His recognition, on the field awareness is excellent. And he's a good tackler, excellent tackler, man, from the safety position, man. That's what you want. So shout out to Pinnock. Now, let's get into a little bit of the defensive line. I was particularly impressed with Timon Fox. I seen him get pressure on several pass plays. And look, man, we're looking for somebody to step up and be that third guy behind Kayvon Thibodeau and Azeez Ojulari. And I do believe that Timon Fox can be that guy. He played well the other night for the Giants. And, I see it as, hey, if you have to take KT or Azeez off the field, or if they have to miss a game or two and you have to put in Timon Fox, I think Timon Fox can grow into that role. Is he all the way there yet? No. Does he have to get better setting the edge? Yes. And in run defense. But he can rush the passer. You know what I'm saying? He can get after the quarterback, man. And, to have him in there in situational pass rush situations, I think this kid can excel. I think he can be a pretty decent player, man, as he develops. These guys are young. The Giants overall have a very, very young team, and it showed last night because I'm looking at the players on the field, and I'm like, damn, who the hell are these guys? You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of young players, a lot of undrafted free agents, a lot of first, second-year players, that have an opportunity, man, to here with the Giants, man, to carve out a nice little role, man. Still a lot of, roster spots, man, bubble spots, as they say, up for grabs. So Timon Fox showed out pretty well. Also, this kid, Jordan Riley, he was getting a lot of push in the pocket from the defensive tackle position. Remember, I think he was our 6th-round pick this year. New York Giants 6th-round pick. Jordan Riley, thought he played well. Seen him in there for a couple tackles. Good on run support. So that was nice to see. Also, Who else I got out here? Baldonado, the rookie edge rusher. Can't pronounce his first name, so I'm not going to try to. But he was number 45 on the field, and he showed well. Remember, he's the one that got the sack that they call roughing the passer, which was a stupid call, man. I mean, like, come on, this is preseason, man. Let them dudes play, man. You know, these officials want to get involved in the action, so bad, man, with these flags, man. Let the players play. You know, I know you got to call the game, but I mean, that was a bad call. You know, I don't even know what he did, man, but I'm gonna give him credit for a sack. So he had a sack last night, man. So it was good to see, man. You know, nice young player. You know, probably not gonna have a spot on this roster. You know, it's a giant scene. I want to keep O'Shane Zimenez around. But you know, this kid could definitely be stashed from the practice squad, man. And let's see, man. Let's see him develop, man, and see what you got, man. But he showed pretty well last night. Who else? Who else from the defense? That I was in. Fly played all right, I guess. He had a pass breakup, man. You know, Dane Belton. You know, he had an interception. Dane Belton's a bit of a ball hawk. It's going to be interesting to see, y'all, if Dane Belton. Might be an unpopular opinion. Hit that like button. If Dane Belton can possibly grow into the free safety role, you got Pinnock as your strong safety. You have Dane Belton, and remember they drafted this kid, Jarius Owens, as well. I don't think he played too well last night, but you know, still young, man. He'll be around, whether on the team or the practice squad. But can Dane Belton grow into an Xavier McKinney type role, that ball hawk and safety type role, man? Because this kid does seem to get interceptions. He gets his hands on the football a lot, man. And it's just going to be interesting to see if he's a player that down the line, when it's time to pay McKinney, that they kind of balk at that, man, because they got Dane Belton. You know, like I said, McKinney has a lot to prove, you know, and these kids are hungry out there, man. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to be interested to see when the starters do get on the field this preseason, what Xavier McKinney looks like. And, you know, because it could be a situation like with Julian Love, man, where it comes time to pay the safety and they're like, you know what? We got this other kid, man, and we're going to let you walk. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how fans feel about that, but that is possible, that they could go ahead and do that. So we're going to see, man. We're going to see what the Giants have up their sleeve, man, when it comes to the safety position, man. But I was definitely impressed with the two safeties that was out there last night, and that was Belton and Pinnock. So we'll see how they do this thing coming down the line. Now, going to the defensive players I got, like I said, Fly, talked about Trey Hawkins, Simone Fox, Pinnock, Belton. Let's go to the offensive side for a second. So, let's see here, man. All right. Now, offensively, the offensive line, I was not impressed with the offensive line. Let's just put it like that. Outside of JMS, John Michael Schmitz played well, didn't allow pressure or a sack in the game. So definitely impressed with John Michael Schmitz. And Azudu, I don't think played well. I don't think Bredesen played all that great either. So that's that. Matt Pert and Corey Cunningham were awful, to put it lightly. So, what do we take from all this? The Giants' offensive line depth is not great because if you're getting that from Pert and Corey Cunningham, now Tyree Phillips didn't play. I expect Tyree Phillips to actually be the swing tackle. I guess what they're trying to do is just kind of get a look at Pert to see if he can be the guy. Because he was a draft pick, but I'm ready. I'd rather roll with Tyree Phillips, man, or Devery Hamilton or somebody like that, man, because Matt Pert and Corey Cunningham were awful. Wyatt Davis was even worse. So I don't know. And I've been talking about this. There's two positions that I'm worried about on this team right now, as far as depth is concerned. And it is backup edge. And we just talked about Simone Fox. So my anxiety is kind of eased there. But that backup tackle position, my goodness. Is this what we're looking at? Corey Cunningham and Matt Pert, because that ain't gonna get the job done, y'all. That is not gonna get the job done, and they were pretty bad, So I definitely want to see. Definitely want to see more out of the backup tackle position, man. But the interior, I thought played okay. Like I said, Azudu and Bredesen, they weren't impressive to me, but they did hold up pretty well. They did an okay job. More so in the pass game, I was not impressed at all with the Giants' run defense. Outside of Deshaun Corbin's little 40-something yard run. The running was not there. The run offense was not there, and I just wasn't impressed at all. Coach, what's up, man?
What's up, bro? How are you? Peace and blessings to you.
I'm good, man. Maintaining, man. I had to get up this morning early, man, and rewatch this Giants preseason game. I watched it, but I was kind of in and out, man. I've been tired, man. Been working a lot. So I got up this
Mm.
morning, I watched the game, and I said, okay, now I can give some real clear-headed analysis on what I see from this team, man. And I got a list here. There were some people I was impressed with, some people I wasn't so impressed with, man. But
Mm-hmm.
um, what was some of your takeaways, man? I was just talking about the reserve offensive linemen. I thought they were not great outside of John Michael Smith's. What was your takeaway, man, when it comes to the offensive line, man, and what was your thoughts on that? Just speaking.
Well, um, first of all, what's up, Deception? Um, as far as the reserve offensive linemen, Pert, Cunningham, and Wyatt Davis.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm going to
Those
grade
are
them,
three I got.
I'm going to grade
Yeah.
them as an F. I graded them as an
Mm-hmm.
F. Um, Azudu and Bredesen, they were fine. They weren't the greatest, but they were
Yeah,
fine.
decent. Yeah.
Yeah, they
Mm-hmm.
were probably about a C, C-ish,
Mm-hmm.
maybe C plus. Um, I mean, I had concerns watching the game on some calls that I was wondering about, but Dable said, John Michael Schmidt made all the right calls, so it just leaves me wondering, I don't know the play, because I'm talking about some run plays. It just seemed like
Mm-hmm.
we were running and maybe inside zone, and the back bounced it outside right into a linebacker's hand who was sitting there. Because to me, I thought it was power where if you pull the backside guard takes care of that linebacker, and it's there. Um, I'm looking. I think they ran a little bit of dual combinations
They
instead of
did.
instead of working the straight combination because the backside linebackers were free scraping and filling. So. those are just little things that, again, I don't know what's going on in the meeting rooms. It just, looking at it, it's just like, well, why are we not doing this? So then it goes to, are we just looking at, were we just calling plays just to see what guys could do? Which is probably what was happening.
Mhm.
But I mean, the offensive line, if I'm going to grade the whole offensive line, I got to give it like a D plus, C minus. John
Mhm.
Michael Schmitz, I'm probably going to put him at about an A minus. Oh yeah, I'm
For the
playing around with the
background.
background. Yeah, I mean, if you can't figure it out, yeah. so, so but um, yeah, I'll change it for you guys. I don't want to keep distracting everybody from what we're talking about.
I like it.
No, I know. But no, this is Giants talk. So let me just do that. All right.
All
So,
right.
but I mean, overall, like I said, the offensive line, like I said, this is D plus. I mean, pushing it to a C minus, because there were just some, because of the tackle play, those tackles were
Yeah,
just
they were bad,
atrocious.
man.
Jack Anderson really didn't impress me when he went in for John Michael Schmidt.
Mm-mm.
So the offensive line just
I thought Shane
and
Lemieux looked all right. I will say that I thought he was all right, but I mean that was third team right there. So
exactly. Exactly, and that's the point. It's he's there, and you're going up against guys who are basically on the lines of
mm,
they'll probably get cut and probably picked up on somebody's practice squad. So that's what I'm thinking about Lemieux. If I'm going to grade him because he has an upward battle. But again, but I will say I think if we had Neal and Thomas in there, I think the offensive line plays a whole lot better
yeah. Oh
because
yeah, definitely.
it's just night and day. So,
But
um,
that's my concern, coach, is if, and I've
mhm.
been telling Giants fans this, if something happens to Andrew Thomas or Evan Neal, this is what you're gonna see.
Exactly.
I'm hoping Tyree Phillips is a bit better than what they put out there last night because he did not play due to injury, and I expect Tyree Phillips to be the backup swing tackle, which he was last season. And he's decent, not great, but that was bad. We need decent. We don't need atrocious, So
I'm going to say this to be honest with you. I think our backup swing tackle is on another team right now. He's not even on this
he
team.
should be, yeah. He
So
should be, yeah, because we can't put that out there.
no, you can't, especially when you have Daniel Jones and
Mm-hmm.
God forbid something happens to AT. You need to have something that can at least help him.
Functionable, yeah.
Exactly. So but the interior, I'm not too concerned about the interior as other people are. But I think Azudu and Bredesen
I think
more
the
than
interior
likely.
will be fine. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
think it'll
think
be fine.
Bredeson's probably going to end up at the left guard. Azudu is probably going to be the swing. You're going to
And
have
Zulu,
Glowinski, who, oh
he needs
gosh,
time. You could tell.
yeah,
Zulu needs. It seems like to me, Zulu needs more time.
yes,
He was hurt last year. You're throwing him back in there. He's still basically on his rookie season. Because he
exactly.
missed half of last season. He hasn't played a full 16 or 17 games yet. So, I always want to give these young players a full 17 games of playing before we consider them off of that rookie learning scale. So,
hmm
Azudu's still
hmm
there. Bredesen is a veteran. I expect Ben Bredesen to do well against Andrew Thomas. I think they have some chemistry going on together, and I think that'll work. Just gonna have to try Glowinski back out there at right
Yeah, I
guard. I'm
know,
sorry.
I know, I know.
He's
Though
your
for
best
me, the
option, though.
though and you know how I am about McKeith, and I
Mm,
need to see
yeah.
something. I need to see something out of
He
these
wasn't in the
last two
game last
preseason.
night. That's
No,
what
I
I'm
know.
saying.
They
Where
just took
where
him off.
is he?
He
Right.
just
He
came
just
off
came
a
on
puff,
pup. Right.
so you're not going to put him out there. So the Friday's game and the last preseason game, I'm expecting to see a good dosage, or I'm expecting to see him. I don't know how they're going to break it down, with the starters, because usually
Mm-hmm.
your starters are, in preseason. There's one game that they go like
It'll
a
be
quarter and I mean two and a half quarter.
it'll be the Panthers game because I don't think they're gonna do that against the Jets because remember they played the Jets in the regular season this year.
No, I know that. I know that. It's
So
not
yeah.
that. It's just I also think like are we going to play them more in that game because we also have a week in between that last preseason game and the start of the regular season. So do you really want to give them that much time off? Especially when we got to play Dallas. So
Mm,
I don't know. I don't know how Dable is going. Like I said, Friday this week will tell me what he's going to do. Well, we know
mm,
DJ may it's a good percentage possibility that DJ plays, but
yeah.
are we going to play the start as this game and then give them a little walkthrough on that last preseason game? Okay, fine, then that's cool.
Mm.
But again, that's it. And you asked about overall defensive. Did you want to just offensive line, right?
I went on the offensive line, but I'm
Okay.
comment on Deception's question real quick because I there's two spots I'm worried about. It was the backup offensive tackles, which that didn't ease my concern, and then it was the third edge rusher behind KT
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Aziz, man, and which I did was impressed what I saw with Timon Fox. But I'm gonna answer Deception's question real quick. This is Giants conversation, so we do interact with the chat. He says, "How about Tommy DeVito? He looked like someone who could possibly develop into a solid backup if he has time to develop."
Mm-hmm.
I was impressed with Tommy DeVito. I thought he made some good decisions. It was
Mm-hmm.
he was solid out there. His offensive line didn't do him any favors. I
No.
think with some protection, he probably would have done a whole lot better.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a conversation to be had. I mean, can
Yeah.
you develop this kid into a backup and you letting Tyrod Taylor go? Do not say he's gonna be beat out. Don't talk to me about Daniel Jones and none of that. This kid was put on this roster to be a backup, and like Deception said, can he develop into a solid backup? Now you can cut Tyrod Taylor, who did not look great last night.
That's right.
But they're not going to do that this season, because God forbid something happened to Daniel Jones. You need a veteran in there that is at least capable of running your offense. Tommy DeVito looked good last night in a preseason game against backups. We have
Mm-hmm.
warned you Giants fans before with David Sills and some of these other players, man. Don't get too hyped off of preseason. But to
Mm-hmm.
answer your question, can he develop? Absolutely. He has some good
Mm-hmm.
traits, decent arm, good mobility. You know what I'm saying? Good pocket awareness. So I think he can, man. But coach, man, you the coach, man. What did you see from Tommy D, man, out there last Friday night, man? That
I will
impressed you?
I will say this. I've been following Tommy D since his high school days here in Jersey. So I've
It's
always
good,
known about him.
Wells. It's
What's up,
popping.
Wells? I've always known about him. When he went to Syracuse, I watched him up to Syracuse.
Mm-hmm.
I knew what he could do over there. And then when he transferred over to Illinois, he ended up taking a job from Arthur Siskowski, and he did fairly well, helping lead that offense. So he's a productive quarterback. The issue, I mean, when he's in the pocket and he's able to set his feet and follow through, his passes are very good. All
Accurate,
right,
yeah.
but when he moves, there were a few times when they forced him out of the pocket. A couple balls went right into the dirt.
Yeah.
So his off balance throws are not there. His throws on the run are not there as yet. They can be developed. I think there was one where he did roll to the right and he was throwing towards the sideline and it looked fine. But when
Mm-hmm.
he was trying to go left or anywhere else, it needs to be worked on. So mind you, like you said, he was out there with second and third string offensive players against
Yeah.
second and third string defensive players. So I take that for what it is. But he showed us something. He did show us that he is something. As far as Tyrod Taylor right now, because his contract is guaranteed, he's not going anywhere. And like you
Yeah.
said, God forbid something happens to DJ, you still need a veteran in there
Yeah,
because
you're not gonna
with
put Tommy
everything,
DeVito out there against the
no,
Eagles, y'all. Come on, bro.
no, no, and
or
it's
the
also
Commanders or whoever.
it's also the weapons that we've acquired and we have on this team. Don't forget, Paris Campbell is on a 1 year contract, so he needs a quarterback that can get him the ball so he can showcase. Cole Beasley showed a little something. I mean,
I was
now,
impressed with Cole, but he's a
and I was
veteran, man. You
he's
expect Cole
exactly,
Beasley to do that. You expect Jamison
exactly,
Crowder to do that. Like, yeah, against
exactly. So
backups, yeah.
exactly, and that's the whole thing. It's all right, but Tommy DeVito, he was fine, for what he was facing and what my expectation was, for him. What's up, Leaf?
What up, Leaf? What's
Coach,
good with you,
coach, what's
bro?
going on? Pop, what's going on?
What's popping, man?
Nothing much.
Talking Giants conversations, man. We in the Giants show, man. What's good with you?
Oh, right. Y'all in the Giants show. I had to forget. I'm a Packers fan, so yeah.
I ain't forgot.
Yeah, nah, I forgot. I forgot because I was watching the preseason game against the Bengals. Jordan Love looked pretty okay.
Yeah.
I'm just really concerned about our defense. As long as we're not running the tired nickel that we've been getting burnt on 3rd and 20s for the last 10 years, man, I think we'll be okay. But I did take a little look at that Giants and Lions game. I ain't really know too. I ain't really take a look at it too much. But the Lions seem like they seem like a team that's gonna be trouble in our division. So
that is true.
As far as y'all go, I mean, I think y'all taking steps in certain directions, man. I think obviously coming in the season, the running attack is gonna be potent, man. The defense, I don't know about. I ain't really watched too many of y'all defensive possessions, but I ain't bound. But I think everything should be on the up and up.
Mm-hmm.
I think, Leaf, is I think the Lions particularly are going to be the class of your division.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They
Was
look
crazy.
good.
What's crazy is I told like at least a couple of Lions fans, and they like, yo, Leaf, bro, like why you out here trying to troll us, bro? Like we know you've been a Packers fan for mad long, and y'all been dominating the division, brother. Just don't be out here trying to troll us and everything. So, but the Lions, man, like they serious. They just got to get out of their own way. Last year, they was on a run. It was at a point they wasn't kicking nothing. They was going for 4th downs, all of that, man. They just emptied out the playbook.
That's that Dan Campbell, yeah.
Dan Campbell.
They did it Friday. They went for it on a couple of 4th downs.
They was out there. They was putting it all on the line, man. They listen. The defense is playing with a lot more energy. Hutchinson came along.
Defense is pretty. I was impressed with their defense. I was impressed with the Giants' defense as well as the Lions' defense. I thought both the defenses played pretty well. The Lions' offense, I mean, they didn't have their starters out there, so I couldn't really judge. But I wasn't impressed with their backups at all.
Definitely, but
outside of Jameson Williams, who's I think he's projected to be a starting wide receiver over there. So he was on the field, pretty much played pretty well, man. But a lot of their linemen were getting beat. I mean, Timon Fox was getting a lot of pressure back there in the backfield. That was number 49 for the New York Giants. For those that don't know, undrafted free agent. Coach, talk to me about this somebody that I've really done a lot of studying on is Braden Bryant, number 69 for the Giants. He was in the backfield a lot. Go watch the film, Coach, the All 22, and we could do something on that. But he was in the backfield a little bit, man. I did definitely seem impressed by him. Braden Bryant, and I think his PFF grade was like 70. I got the grades right here. Number 69. Defensive lineman, 32 total snaps.
Oh yeah, I'll be back.
It was like 60 something.
Well, some of their defensive linemen. I mean, Bowers. Bowers did show me something.
Yeah. What up, Mac? What's good?
What's up, Mac?
He said Williams going to be suspended the first 6 games.
To be honest with you, the only thing Williams showed me was speed.
Hold up. Oh, Jameson Williams.
Yeah, the only thing he showed me was speed, and on that deep play, like people talk about, oh, he beat Banks. No, Banks was in phase with him.
He was
If you
in
notice,
position.
if
Yeah.
you notice, when the ball came there, what did Banks do? He pulled his arms away to make it difficult. So that's not beating someone. Beating someone is when you literally have 2 yards of separation in the NFL, where the defender does not have an opportunity to make a play on the ball. So yeah, he showed a little something, in terms of his speed. He's also coming back from an injury, so he's
Yeah.
developing. So I mean, he really didn't show me other than I think he had one or two other catches, but that's what you would expect out of him. So I'm not trying to take away from what he did, but yeah, being suspended the first 6 games, it's really going to stagnate his development in the long
Mhm.
run. So I'm not expecting him to do anything this year major. If you told me he ended up with 25, 30 catches, then for the season, and somewhere around 300 yards, 400 yards, and a couple touchdowns. That's kind of what I'm expecting out of him.
Mhm.
Deception, I put in the link right there, that answers your question. Yes, you can have a third quarterback dress, because they're trying to avoid what happened with San Francisco last year. So, he just
Mhm.
doesn't take up a
It
roster
happened to the
spot.
Giants. We
Yeah,
remember that
yeah.
game. We had Saquon Barkley as the
Hmm.
quarterback, man.
Exactly.
So definitely, man. But coach, Braden Bryant, I mean, he wasn't great out there, man, but
Hmm.
I did see him in the backfield a few
Hmm.
times. And but overall in the defense, I was more impressed with the defense. I think we have a lot of depth at a lot of the defensive spots, man, and it showed out last night. When your backups are able to outperform other teams' backups, man, that's a good indication, man. That you gotta have good team depth. So what were some of your takeaways from the defense, as far as who impressed you and who didn't?
Well, I'm going to start this way. All right. I do still have concerns about the linebackers, our backup linebackers. Now, Beavers, I don't recall him playing.
McFadden, I think he played
He
pretty
was
well.
okay. He was okay. He missed some tackles, which is still what
Mm-hmm.
he was doing last year.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name? Coughlin to start. Yeah, he was there in the beginning, but made a couple
Not
plays in the
impressed with Carter
backfield,
Coughlin.
but again, I just have my concerns there. But everything else, I mean, like Timon Fox, Bowers, who was the other one off the
Mm-hmm.
edge? Ox did not impress me. He just really just seemed like he was out of he didn't set the edge well. He really, didn't do as much as I would have expected, especially going up against reserves like this. So, but let me see who else. Who else am I forgetting? 94, Tyrone Fox.
Simone
I'm
Fox, yeah.
forgetting. I'm forgetting one more edge guy. Jordan Riley. Great job.
Jordan
Being
Riley
a
was good.
yeah, they had a hard
Jordan
time
Riley
moving
is
him.
yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
DJ Davison DJ Davison might get cut and end up on the practice squad if anything, because his injuries are hurting him. So and this kid Riley,
Yeah,
he's a
Riley.
big stout guy and you cannot move him. You can't. So it's like now his pass rushing. I mean, he has to work on that. But
Mm-hmm.
he did
I
get a
thought he got some
little
push in the
push.
pocket. Yeah, yeah. I thought he
He got
did.
some push on the bull rush, but I'm not.
Yeah.
He needs
Mm-hmm.
to work on at least getting a swim move or even a spin
Mm-hmm.
move where you can bring the elbow and lock out the offensive play.
Yep.
Something else, because if all you're doing in the pass rush is the bull rush, it's easy for an offensive lineman to block you. It is, even if you
Mm-hmm.
don't move. So,
Yeah,
but
you
yeah,
just
he
kind
was
of anchor
fine.
down, right? And
Oh,
and yeah.
that's who it is. Belly, the kid from Pittsburgh, the guy who they threw a roughing the passer flag on for, and everyone's saying it. That was
Yeah, yeah, that was
Baldonado. Thank
stupid.
you.
Baldonado, yeah.
But
Yep, I
I
got him
mean,
down here
he
too.
he played well. When he was out there. So those are guys who what. It won't surprise me if they end up on the practice squad and you develop them like Timon Fox. So
Mm-hmm.
but cornerback play. I mean, I was fine with Banks and Hawkins for the most part. Owens, I saw him out there a little bit. I mean, I saw him, but um, he was okay. Whatchamacallit, damn, the other one who got the unit, not Pinnock,
Dane
what's his name?
Belton.
Yeah, you know. Oh well, you know what? Let me back up a second. Kudos to McFadden because he helped create that interception
Yeah.
because he buzzed underneath and he kind of took
Hmm.
away, made it the quarterback have to throw it a little bit higher where it sailed over his receiver and Belton was able
Hmm.
to capitalize. So, Belton
Hmm.
did, okay. He was always in position. He wasn't out of position. So, which is what I expect out of him, especially
Let me
after.
let me let me throw something out here. That I put out earlier, a little bit earlier, man. Since we got a few people in the chat now. Um, if Dane Belton can develop into that ball hawking safety that we believe Xavier McKinney is, would it surprise you if they let McKinney walk? Basically, is what I'm saying is how basically Pinnock has supplanted in that strong safety role over a
Mm,
guy like Julian Love. What is it about Xavier McKinney that he makes us feel like he's head and shoulders above the rest of the
he is
guys in the safety position? And
okay.
what is it that he needs to show this season? Because I'm still on the fence about paying McKinney. Um,
Okay.
and I've been
Good.
like this since we had Julian Love, because I was one of the guys that said, um, they might value Julian Love more than that. I was wrong about that. You can't get them all right, but
Hmm.
I'm something about McKinney. I'm not there, man. I need to see more. He's
So
not on the
Philly.
field as he should be. He misses a lot of games, 2 seasons in a row now. Because of things. One thing not his fault. One thing was his fault. As if you want to say that. And then to me, where's the interceptions? Like, where's the big splash plays? I'm not getting that feeling, man.
Okay. In
More
terms of
so his rookie
McKinney,
season than this season, I would say.
here's the thing: if he's single
Mm.
high, he has good range going sideline to
What up,
sideline.
Philly? What's good with you? Halftime?
So most there, you need to see more safeties who are able to do that. He's fundamentally sound in his technique. Yes, he has to see until he got hurt last year. He was having the last year and a half. He was actually having good seasons. It's just that he got
Oh yeah,
hurt
yeah.
last year.
He's hurt,
So
and
I mean, he's
I don't know.
smart. He reads the offense very well. He can dissect route combinations, and he's not biting on the wrong reads. So I mean, he is there. He was a playmaker, getting the balls at certain times. So yes, he does have things. He does have skill sets there. Does he have to re-earn it because of his injury? Because that let's be real. I mean, I'm not. He's young. I get it. I mean, we've all done things that what maybe you shouldn't. But again, I don't believe his con. Oh no, his contract does say that he wasn't supposed to be in writing and things like that. But
Yeah, you told me that. Yeah, because I
yeah,
was defending him. Yeah, he was
yeah,
like, "Nah, it's in this
yeah.
contract." I was like,
It's in the
"Oh, okay."
contract. Yeah, no, you can't. ATVs. But
Mm.
in the same token, you know, it happened, and it wasn't like he was trying to be reckless in riding the ATV. He was on a tour, and the
But
thing.
things like that is holding back his development, and
No, I
that's what
get
I'm
that.
that's what I'm saying.
That's from last year. If he did
Mm,
not get hurt, I think he would have taken that next step. Now,
mm.
is he on a Derwin James level right now? No. Can he ascend to that level? Yes, he can. I believe he can. So it's just it's. I understand the apprehension. I understand the jack of all trade type of thing. He could still come down and play in the box. He can guard tight
Mm.
ends. He can guard
No,
slot
I will say
receivers.
that. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
very good in
So
coverage.
so
But I want to see more plays. I'm seeing Pinnock making plays. Even last season, I'm seeing Dane Belton getting interceptions. Even last season,
so
not
the only
seeing
thing
that
you're
much
looking
from.
for is turnovers. That's really what you're looking for.
I want him to make some plays. Yeah, I
Okay.
want him
See,
to
and
make some
that's
plays.
again, that's why.
Fundamentally, I know he's talented. He was a second
Mhm.
round pick. I'm there with you, coach. You know what I'm saying? He has a world of talent. It's just not translating on the field, in my opinion.
And now I get it. And again, when I look at the film, is he in play? Is he in position? The other thing is, does he force a quarterback not to throw into his area? Because sometimes, if the quarterback is not throwing there, how is he going to get the opportunity to make an interception?
That's
So
true.
it's a catch-22. That's
Mm-hmm.
why I say if he's in position, he's following. He's making the right reads. If the ball is not going there, now if you're telling me the ball is always, if he has a high number of PBUs, then you need to work on your hands because you need to get those what you call it. Pinnock is he has some good hands, bro. I have to admit that. I mean
That
it's not
dude's
easy to
good,
make
man.
that. Yeah. So and Jets, we both know there are a lot of Jets fans who are upset that he was let go. So and it's to our
He gonna
benefit.
make the
So
game interception October 29th
there
in
you go.
MetLife Stadium against Aaron Rodgers. Thank you, Jets.
So
Appreciate you for
so
Pinnock and Leonard Williams, two about to be Pro Bowlers on our team. Go
now,
ahead.
I do think most people look at because he's in a contract year, and the concern is overpaying for him. When
That's where I'm
when,
going with that. Yeah.
but who is the GM? Does our GM overpay for anyone? That's why I'm not worrying about it.
Nope.
And it's like all right, well, he'll probably tell him, go ahead, go test the market, go see what's out there. He did the same thing with Julian Love, and what happened with Julian Love?
Mm-hmm.
He ended up signing for less money. So I
Mm-hmm.
get it. I'm not concerned, and I think McKinney knows this. I think McKinney
Mm-hmm.
his team. Shane has proven, what, he's reading the market fairly well. I
Yeah.
think one mistake. Okay, one mistake in reading the market. But other than that, he's reading the market, and all that's going to happen, if he's going to come with a number, and he's going to say, this is it, this is all I have. He might start with a low number and say, I can work my way up. But once he gets to that magic number, he ain't going past it. And if he wants to go, and let him go. And to your point, and if he McKinney tests the market and he does leave, he's signing players that can come in and fill the spot, and he will go out and draft a player that will come in and fill the spot. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
not worried about McKinney in that regard. I want him here, but if he leaves on his own accord because he wants more money, okay. And if we cross paths, we're going to try and beat you. That's it. So
Yeah.
thanks, Mac. I appreciate that.
Dane Belton, man, most definitely, man. You know what I'm saying? That's why we always listen to your insight. You know what I'm saying? This is the coach. I'm just the fan. You know what I mean? But what I am impressed with Pinnock as well as Dane Belton. I think Dane Belton can develop. Was he gonna be McKinney level? Of course not. But I think he
Mm-hmm.
can develop into a decent safety in this league, man. Someone who can make plays and get interceptions. Turnovers is something that the Giants need to work on. We were last in interceptions, I believe, last season. Although they do force a lot of fumbles, which is just as good, but you wanna see some more turnovers, man. But I think Pinnock, Trey Hawkins, some of these guys, Deontay Banks, man. I was definitely impressed with the secondary players for the Giants. Let's talk a little bit about these receivers now, because I didn't get a lot from that group outside of Cole Beasley, a little bit of Jamison Crowder,
Mm-hmm.
the preseason Hulk, David Sills made a few plays out there.
well, I will say this. I will say this. At least he did make some catches in comparison to our boy Bryce Ford Wheaton. I mean,
I
Bryce
was
Ford
not
Wheaton,
impressed. He's
he
on
looked
my
lost.
not good list.
No,
Yeah,
no. I think it's more of, remember, it's his first NFL game, so
I know.
I think now. Am I
But
waiting to
people
see
saying he
more?
should earn a roster spot, though. I don't think this kid's going to earn a roster spot. I think he's going to get released and added to the practice squad. If somebody picks him up, so be it. I'm not going to be
No,
mad.
you're right about
We
that.
still
I
got
mean,
Colin Johnson. Colin Johnson wasn't out there last night.
yes, he was, and he got hurt.
He got hurt. That's right. Colin Johnson getting hurt is not ideal, y'all.
Yeah. Well, see, he
Because
got hurt, and it's a preseason game. They probably just kept him out as a precaution.
mm-hmm.
So Right now it's
Tudo, what's good, Tudo? Go ahead though. Yeah, I
yeah, no,
missed him
so
getting hurt.
yeah, so it's like okay, but we still have plenty of wide receivers, that can come in and do the job, So I'm not overly concerned with Colin Johnson and Bryce. Do I want Bryce for a week to make it? Yes, of course. I see something in him, but if he's not confident, all the talent in the world don't mean crap if you're not confident because it's just going to strip you of your ability. So I'm taking it, this past game as what his first game. Let me see the next time when he goes out there, does he settle in and does he start making plays? And if he does, because that one the third down where he let the ball into his body, yeah, you can't do that. You got to snatch that. Defender
Yeah.
was on your back. You had him sealed. You got to keep that ball away from him so you can secure it and bring it in. But that's it. Tudo.
F all legals losers, please slap stinky boys out the door. Forgot about it.
Yeah.
What's good with you,
But
bro?
we talked about it early. Beasley, yeah. I expected that. Especially
Beasley makes this
with
roster.
Costas.
He's making his team.
My question is, if he makes it, then what happens to Shep?
I
What
think
happens to
Shep makes it
Wandell?
too.
Well, Wandell's on the pup, but when
Wandell's probably going to still be on pup. They saying he might
comes
come
back,
off pup. Then you have a
yeah,
logjam. You have a problem.
exactly,
They're probably gonna end up cutting Jamison Crowder. And Shep could be a cap casualty. Beasley's making this team. I'm convinced about that now. And you ain't cutting
I'm
Wandell
convinced.
Robinson.
I'm convinced Beasley makes the team, but not over Shep. Because first and
So you think
foremost,
they're gonna have both him and Shepard?
here's the thing. I looked at the fact that Shepard sat with all the primetime players, and Beasley went out there and he's producing against second and third stringers, so he needs to. But it's the fact that he had to go out there and do that while Shepard didn't. So that I'm looking at it that way, where okay,
Competition could be between Beasley and Crowder
that I
for the
agree.
last spot.
Yes,
Because
those two are out
remember,
there.
I think Jamison Crowder can do punt kick returning.
Well,
So
whatchamacallit did a fairly decent job though. Gray did a decent job back there. Look, everybody was looking for him to explode or whatever. The first thing he did is
the
secure the
first
ball.
one he did well. I seen that. I think that was the one that did it get called back or something.
Make an explosive return with the ball. I said explode the ball. Yeah. That's y'all. Y'all know what I meant.
What's good, Bookends? What's up, man?
But no. But the thing about it is, great. He secured the ball. That's number one.
Mm-hmm.
So no turnovers, and he did at least the kickoffs. I think only one time we started at the 20 on the kickoffs. Everything else was at least at the 25. Punt return, he did what he had to do. Now James Crowder goes back there and tears it up. Great, but they gave Gray an opportunity to show what he can do. So and now Jameson Crowder, I know he's a veteran. He can do it. I'm not worrying about that in that regard. But in the competition, that's what I'm looking at. And Gray is a rookie, so it's going to be he's a rookie. They drafted versus Jameson Crowder. I think Crowder's probably making more money. So that's how I'm looking at it. So I think we lost NYG. Did I lose you? Yeah. So, but in terms of James Crowder, yeah, I think he can go back there and he can do it. I know Brightwell may get an opportunity probably in that third game. So we'll see what happens there. I'm trying to remember who else can go back there and return. In my opinion, Beasley has the most secure hand compared to all slot receivers on the roster. He might be slow and not elusive, but regardless of hard hits and traffic, he's best 6 to 7 yards. And no, you're right too, though. He is good there in that range, but so is Shepard. So but again, if you're going to keep both of them, that's fine. It helps us, offensively. So I don't have an issue with that. So, and it just adds to, for me, I said we're going to go with 8 wide receivers. A lot of others say 7. I just have a feeling it'll be 8. You know, and with those 8, who's going to be. Slayton is going to be there. Campbell is going to be there. Wandale Robinson is going to be there. I think Shepard is going to be there. Now I'm starting to believe Beasley is going to be there. I'm forgetting somebody. You guys, help me out. It's right there. I think I just gave you 6. Robinson, Campbell, Slayton, Beasley, Shepard. That's 5. Let me pull out my book. I have it in my little book here. Let me take a look. In terms of roster, I did this a while ago. So in the wide receivers, Campbell, Robinson, Shepard, Slayton, Hyatt. That's one I'm forgetting. Hodgins. All right. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And Beasley would be 7. And it comes down to Johnson and Crowder right now because Jeff Smith was already released. So that's what I'm looking at in terms of the wide receiver. So it's Campbell, Robinson, Shepard, Slayton, Hyatt, Hodgins. Beasley is probably going to make it. Crowder will be on the back end, and Johnson. So those are who I'm looking at.
You said
in terms
8,
of the
coach.
receiver. Yeah, Campbell.
So who's your 8?
Campbell, Robinson, Shepard, Slayton. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hyatt. 5. Hodgins. Beasley. And either Crowder or Johnson.
That's a lot of receivers.
No, it's not. Because I look at, number one, you need your backups. You need guys who are versatile. You do go 5 wide receivers sometimes. I mean, think about that. Then that leaves you just, 3 guys, there.
Beasley has the most secure hands compared to all on the roster. He might be slow.
Johnson is out for the season. Oh, I didn't know that. I just knew he was injured. So if Johnson is out, then Johnson might be
done for the season.
If he's done for the season,
news come out?
Yeah, because
I thought he was just hurt.
Yeah, I thought he was hurt. Just hurt, not injured. So, I'm looking it up right now.
That's crazy. Yo.
I'm looking it up now.
I don't know. Max says Hodgins.
Colin Johnson.com. I haven't heard anything. Let me see.
Yeah, I don't see anything.
No, I'm looking at the transaction. Yeah, the only thing the last thing I saw was August 11th. Jeff Smith was the last transaction. Yeah. So, but again, it doesn't mean that he's not. Did I spell his name wrong? Maybe I spelled his name wrong. Yeah, I did. Colin Johnson, wide receiver, 2 L's for his name.
Yeah, L-L-I-N.
I'm looking to see. I don't see. Where'd you get that? Tudo, where'd you get that? We were on a Pat stream when they posted. Oh, it's on a Pat stream. I'm not going by that. Sorry. That's me. I'm just not going off of another team's stream. Oh, off of Pat's stream. I'm sorry, Patriots.
Oh, Pat.
Patriots.
He's talking about Big Pat, I believe.
But I was on the stream with him, and I don't recall we said that he was out for the season. I remember we said he was hurt. He got hurt and went out. But, all right. I'm going to double check, though. I am. I'm going to keep looking. But Those are my 8 wide receivers.
I do think that Colin Johnson has a path to make this team, but honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he's cut too. Injuries do get in the way sometimes. And if he's going to be one of these guys that's, in and out the lineup because of injuries or, an injury risk, because Colin Johnson's a taller receiver, so, sometimes taller receivers have problems, with injuries, with leg injuries.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing at
but
Charlie and the rest of them. The Charlie and the rest of them out there on Twitter.
oh,
They
the
really
trolls.
no, but they really want to bait me into the debate that Randall put out there because of Bobby Johnson. Like people are saying they need to fire him, and Randall was like no, and then he was saying
Fire
legitimately,
Bobby Johnson,
yeah,
the offensive
yeah,
line coach.
yeah,
Why?
yeah. Because they're not happy with the offensive line play. But there's a guy, Randall said, he's going to listen to legitimate line coaches like me and like C Webb, and I think TJ and the guy was, they're all like legitimate. They're not legitimate line coaches and all that type of stuff. It's just, I'm not baiting into it. And then Charlie just posted Coach of the Year, put Bobby Johnson's face up there. So and I told Rand, I'm like, I appreciate it. He was apologizing. I'm like, look, bro, I'm not bothered by that. That's their opinion. I don't get into all that. They
Mhm.
they want Bobby Johnson fired. That's their opinion. I ain't going crazy over it. Who cares? It's
Hey,
subjective
look,
anyway.
Bobby Johnson
It's another troll.
is in charge of developing the number 7th overall pick in Evan Neal. So you want to fire this guy and reset this guy's development? You're fucking stupid. That's why you cannot go with these. Why you think Andrew Thomas had such a problem early in his career? They were switching offensive line coaches, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't even want to say it. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah, bro.
now we got a stable offensive line coach, and think about development for a guy that you just drafted, John Michael Smith. These guys need time to develop. If you keep changing coaches and you keep having instability within your organization, that's why they mad, because the Giants actually have stability now.
Yeah, bro. I mean, that's the whole point. It's like, I'm like, I look at what, and it's like, all right, and this is what I say to myself. All these guys who critique everyone, and we all do, but where have you coached or played at? So, and I'm not disrespecting anybody who has played at high school or youth football. That's not what I'm trying to do. But in the same token, your playing level is at a certain level. Like my playing level is at D3, but I've also played a little minor league semi-pro against guys who have been in the NFL, and I've studied things.
Any news on that either?
Yeah, no, I didn't see it either. So, but I've also studied. I've studied the game. I've also coached guys who've gotten there. But I don't need to toot my own horn. If you don't believe me, don't believe me. You can research me. What's the old saying? Google me.
Yeah, right.
You can Google me. You can research.
Go check out the interview that I did with Coach. It's posted to your channel, Coach. Go check out that interview. And learn some more about the people that you talk about. Go check out Coach's interview with NYG22 and go learn more about your content creators. These guys are out there talking stuff, and we don't know anything about them. They have no credentials. They have no type of experience as far as football is concerned. Sports in general, they're just mouths talking out of the side of their, what. But let's get back into this Giants football, man.
I'm sorry, bro. They just made me.
Nah, you good. I know how Twitter is, man. I get riled up over there too, man, with them dudes, man. I got to bring myself back to my space, which is Unpopular Opinion Sports YouTube channel, Big Blue Crew, man. Y'all hit that like button. October 29th, we will be in the building. Jets versus Giants, Big Blue Crew block party. Be there or be square, man. Let's go. Let's go. Let's come out and meet each other face to face. We love to talk on Twitter. Let's talk in person. Come meet your content creators, the guys you love and listen to all the time, man. The Big Blue Crew, man. NYG22, Coach Ed Gladney, man. October 29th, MetLife Stadium, Big Blue Crew block party. Be there or be square, man. Appreciate
good
all
food,
y'all, man.
good family, good food, good drinks, good fun,
music.
Exactly. So and then
so definitely be there. We will be doing fan interviews as well. You know what I'm saying? We won't be out there doing some content. We're gonna have some fan interviews. You know, I'm working on getting some interviews with people with inside the Giants organization. You know, so keep it locked here, man. Stay off Twitter with the trolls, man. Ain't gonna do nothing but get y'all all hot and bothered.
You know what I say? You know what I say when it comes to that? It's like, going back into the old Wild Wild West. All they want you to do is sit up and, try and outdraw you. That's really what it is.
That's what it is.
I'm like, all right, you got it, man. You got it. I'm whatever. So, but yeah.
Tudo says the Giants should keep 8 receivers on the roster, and these players have been training and practicing with DJ on and off season, and they have built chemistry. And there's some injuries along the D line or somewhere. Yeah, injuries will be a factor. We do not know when Wan'Dale Robinson is going to come off PUP. So that's a roster spot that could be up. With this Colin Johnson, how significant is his injury? That's a spot right there. So Bryce Ford Wheaton, I don't think is making his roster. Khalil Pimpleton's an interesting wide receiver. He's has some speed, has some burst, has a little wiggle. But it's a numbers game, man. You know, I think the kid has some talent, but it's just the numbers ain't gonna be there for him to make it.
Tudo, was it the on Friday's stream with the game, or was it another stream? Because I don't recall. I mean, I was on the stream and I don't recall. I recall we said he went out with an injury and wasn't coming back.
Yeah, I don't know if the season ending though, Tudo. We did confirm he had an injury. We just don't know if it's one of those that's going to put him out for the season. But will be.
Yeah, I'm searching. I'm researching.
Yeah, Max said there's no news of him being out for the season.
Let me look at Carl Banks. Maybe Carl might have
Raphael, what's up, man? What's up, man? You a Giants fan yet, Rafi? El Capitan. They putting the pressure on Rafi to switch sides, man. I've been watching you guys streams, man. Even though I ain't able to comment, but yeah.
Tell a friend.
But special teams, man. You seen Dable go after his special teams coach Thomas McGahee. Special teams has not been good, man. And then the punter's hurt. He's dealing with some issues. So outside of Graham Gano, I'm not impressed with the special teams. What's up, Coach? You got something for us?
No. I was just saying, because I'm scrolling Carl Banks' Twitter feed. So no, I got you too. Like I said, I mean, I don't recall it. Maybe I missed it. It's on me if I did, if it was mentioned. So, but as far as that, I mean, Dable said in his press release afterwards, he's like, he just holds everyone to a high standard. There's nothing but love between him and T-Mac.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and you know what? I want a coach like that. Hold me accountable. Something's going wrong. Hold me accountable. People talking about he needs to be fired. Yeah, look. Does he
needs to be fired?
McGahee? No,
McGahee?
Yeah. I'm not of that. This is preseason. This is preseason.
But the special teams have been bad for a minute now.
Look,
that's
it may
legit,
not be the
though.
greatest. May not be the greatest, I mean, that kickoff, I mean, that punt return, I mean, I will say this. That long snapper was in perfect position to make the tackle, and he just dipped his head and went right to the ground and allowed him to get around him. If he at least gets a hit on him, grabs some type of cloth, we get guys rallied around him and they don't score that touchdown. So, you know, yes, the special teams needs to be better. Guys need to perform better. But you know what? I look at, first and foremost, I mean, what you call it he did a nice directional kick in the game, and his punts were going left to right. It wasn't strictly
The punter was better. I did say that,
yes.
but now he's hurt. Am I right or
Yeah.
wrong? Didn't he get injured?
No, he twisted his ankle. Yes, but I don't think it's because he came back and punted after it, and he had a good punt. So
Okay.
I'm not going too crazy. That's something where realistically, they're gonna treat it. They'll ice it down, go through all the basic routines. If he needs to punt during the game, they're gonna tape it up securely so he's able to punt because it's his plant foot. It wasn't his punt foot. I don't believe it's his punt foot, but and if they need to, they'll get somebody off the waiver wire to bring in and come in and do what they need to do. The biggest thing is these were all second and third string guys too, so a lot of these guys are not going to be there. They're just not. So that's why you might get one or two who gonna make it. A guy like Carter Coughlin, he might make it because of special team play, but everyone else was, direction was there. The gunners were going where they needed to do. For the most part, guys were there. They need to get off their blocks. And,
I want to see more out of the return game, Coach. It seems like we haven't had a return game in years, man. Like, I remember when we had, what was my man's name? We snatched from Dallas years ago, man. That's the last good returner we had, Dwayne Harris. And since that, it's not been there. It has not been there.
All right, folks. I like that.
Yeah,
Does Sean LaDana have any offspring? Yo, I'm with you, bro.
Right.
Yay, there you go. So, but no, I get you. Yes, we do need to have more explosive plays. We need a touchdown. So I'm not going to argue with you there. Yes, that's definitely needed. So, but I mean, this is preseason. I mean, next week and the last week, that last week, you're really going to see a lot of guys who are fighting, to get on that roster. And that's.
I think next week is going to be the so-called dress rehearsal. I do think they will do that against Carolina versus doing it against the Jets, a team you're going to have to. Because in the dress rehearsal, they show you a little more. They put some of their starters out there.
You put your starters out there and let them work. You don't show more per se of what's in your what you're going to do during the regular season.
No. But that's what I meant. Like as far as your starters and as far as but I don't think they want to do that against the Jets.
No, I get you. I get you with that. I get you with that, and that's fine.
So that's kind of what what we've seen. But what did we learn? To answer this question, man, before we wrap up, what did we learn? We learned that for the most part, we have a solid rookie draft class. I think John Michael Schmitz is a solid center right now, and he could develop into a great center. Deontay Banks, he'll have his ups and downs, but I think he'll be fine eventually. You know what I'm saying? He has. Speaking of coaching, who do I always rave about on my show, Coach? Out of the coaches on the Giants, not Wink Martindale, not Mike Kafka, not Brian Dable, but of the position coaches. You know who I'm talking about? DB coach.
Oh yeah, Henderson.
Look at the work. How y'all feeling about the DBs now?
Oh, good.
Pinnock, Hawkins, Banks, Belton, Flack did a little something. Only one he can't get right is Darnay freaking Holmes. So This dude's a lost cause. Everybody else he seems to be able to coach up, man, and they actually get on the field, man, and show out. So, I'm definitely impressed with the DBs on this team as well as Jerome Henderson, man. So I think we'll be fine there. Um, Trey Hawkins, that's another one with the DBs. Also, we seen Hyatt in practice. Hyatt's gonna take some time. He got out there, didn't do much. You know what I'm saying? So that's fine and dandy. But we all know Hyatt's gonna be a good player, in this league, in my opinion. Jordan Riley, another draft pick, man, went out there, man, and showed out, showed well. So shout out to this draft class. Shout out to Joe Shane, Brian Dable, Wink Martindale, Mike Kafka, the whole coaching staff, man. The Giants look good. And this team looks good, man. This defense looks good. We'll see with the offense. That's something that we're going to be looking at coming up for this next game. In my opinion, I think Daniel Jones and the offense should play a few snaps out there. But what did you learn from great segment so far. I just wanted to say I'm with Coach. The G-men are going 13-4. And NYG, you already know, I do well with the ladies. Woo!
Okay, since he said that, I have to go back. I'm sorry, I have to go back. Since he said that, there you go. There you go, heavyweight. All right. I'm with you, player. I'm with you. So go ahead, stop corners.
If Hawkins is going the way he is we good on outside. But bookends, this is what I'm saying. Hawkins gives you the ability to move a Dory Jackson to the inside slot corner position, which will maximize, our three best corners. Instead of putting Darnay Holmes in there against Devontae Smith or AJ Brown or somebody like that, you could put a Dory in there. You know what I'm saying? To have confidence that a guy like Hawkins and Banks can hold up on the outside. So it's going to be some up and down with the corners positions. But I think by mid-season, we're going to be hitting our stride, man, and they're going to be rocking and rolling out there, man. And, I want the corners, man, to, like I was saying earlier, man, let's force some more turnovers. Let's get some interceptions, man. A lot of our turnovers last year actually came from the D-line, fumbles and stuff like that. So I want to see some more interceptions, man. I think McKinney is a ball hawking safety. He needs to show some. I think Flat, and we'll see what Hawkins and Banks, can do, man. But I do want to see the Giants corners get some more interceptions, some more turnovers, be a little more what they call opportunistic. But what did you learn, Coach, from this 21-16 loss? What was your biggest takeaway? Mine was the rookies. What's yours?
The tackles suck. That's the fan of me. But no, seriously, we definitely need some reserve tackles. What's up with Phillips? Because we have to be able to protect DJ. That's really what everything boils down to. We have to protect DJ because right now he does have some semblance of weapons, and we need him to go out there and show what he can do. And the whole season is contingent upon that, to be honest with you. Defensively, you're right about the rookies for the most part. Hyatt, he's still developing, so he did show a little something, but I want to see a little bit more out of him, especially in his route preparation. But the tackles are the biggest things for me right now. Our reserve tackles.
And you're right, bookends. Wyatt Davis is not a tackle. I don't even know if he's a lineman.
No.
He's not good.
He was better at guard, but I don't know why. I think they were just trying to see if he could play the tackle. But
Tyree Phillips is your best option on the roster. But like I said, they need to go out and find somebody.
Exactly. I think we'll go out and find somebody, and that's what I'm hoping for. Somebody serviceable slips the hell. People may not want to hear it, but if La'el Collins is let go, and you have the opportunity to get him from Cincinnati, you
Why would
scoop
he
him
be
up.
let go?
I read an
What's going
article
on
that
over there?
said I read an article that he might be one that they either trade or let go.
Mm,
So I don't know. I mean, it
yep.
was
Go
an
get him.
article online. So I just said, okay, well, if you let him go and he's there as the Giants, you better sign him. You better scoop him up. Depending on if he's on the waivers, what is his contract? That's the other thing. But
Yeah, but is he gonna be looking to be a starter?
if
I
you're
don't
out of
know.
a job, you shut your mouth and you go wherever you need to go. If somebody says, I want to
I
bring you
hear
to
that
my team to
shit.
be a backup and I'm going to pay you, you're going to say, no, I'm looking for a starter job. This ain't the Pac
Yeah,
12. This
true.
ain't the Pac 12 now. Come on, man. No, I
Yeah,
heard
Phyllis
there
was
was some.
hurt. He
Yeah,
was hurt. That's why he didn't play. So was Devery Hamilton, another lineman.
Hamilton
This
overblowing
Matt Pert
trivia.
experience is over. I'm done with it. Get this dude up out of here. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have it. Corey Cunningham cut him. Wyatt Davis cut him. You know, I don't know what you do at tackle though. Like I said, it's got to be Phillips right now. Hopefully he
Exactly.
can get
So,
back and be healthy.
but that's the biggest thing I learned from this game of the reserves. So, and
Yeah.
Tyrod Taylor, he's on his last string. The only reason why he's probably going to make the roster is because his contract is guaranteed.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
wasn't impressed with Tyrod, man.
no.
I mean,
I
come
was
on, bro.
highly
You
disappointed.
are a
There was
long-term veteran.
there was a play he was rolling right close down towards the right outside the red zone, and I think he threw it. Oh no, yeah, he tossed it to Beasley, who got cracked right on that little whatever. And if
I
he
remember
had to
that
just
play.
look, Hyatt, go back and look at the film. Hyatt came open, and he could have just stopped, tossed the ball, and Hyatt could have made a play.
Yeah, I
Because
gotta
I
watch
looked
the
at,
22,
yeah,
coach. Yeah, uh-huh.
yeah. So I
I'm
mean,
gonna go
I
watch
looked
the
at that. I
22
was
on
just
that.
like, I said, oh wow, Hyatt came open. I understand he had a defensive tackle who was right there, but the defensive tackle was running, so you could stop, and he's just going to run past you, and you could have hit Hyatt, and was right there, clean alley, everything. So that's what I thought when I
Well,
saw
we
it.
remember the game last year when Tyrod had to come in for DJ, and in the first play he threw was a pick.
Pick it. And then you go
So
out
I
and get a
mean,
concussion off of that too. So
right, and then you go in this preseason and you let an undrafted rookie
mm,
outperform you in a preseason game.
exactly.
Not a good look, man. So
No,
there's a
it's definitely
possibility, like I said, that after this season, Tyrod is probably not gonna be on the Giants, man, if they feel comfortable with Tommy D, man, taking that backup spot, man. So
hmm I'm with
um
you on that. Definitely with
yeah,
you on that.
because that's we can't have that, man. Because now I'm not so confident that Tyrod can go in there and hold it down. You know what I'm saying? Right now,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not, you know.
Mm-mm.
So I was before, but I'm not right now. I know I listened to a stream and it was like, yeah, Tyrod, could hold it down for 3 or 4 games. Can he? Shit,
Mm.
looking like that. I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
That
I
dude
don't
looks
either.
shot.
I don't either. I don't
Looks
believe
shot.
in what he brings to the table as a reserve quarterback. He may be a nice guy. He may, be smart and knows the offense, but I just don't know. It just
Tyrod's always like when I watch him play, it's like he doing some James Harden type shit on grass. He's just running around like how James Harden dribble, then shoot. Tyrod run, chuck. Like that's kind of what I'm seeing from this cat. And I know the offensive line is not great. You under pressure and all that, man. But it's times where he has time and he runs
mm-hmm.
around, and then next thing you know, he's either taking off and running or he's chucking it down the field and it's getting picked off or deflected or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm kind of over this Tyrod thing right now. You know what I'm saying? But luckily for us, he's not the starter. And just cross your fingers that nothing happens to Daniel Jones this season because we're fucked.
No, I understand. You're right.
Yep. But to spin it forward, man, before we wrap it up, what are you looking for in this preseason game, man? Who are you gonna be keeping your eyes on? We talking about the Giants Panthers coming up here, um, this coming up Friday.
Well, if we're going to play, our definitely going to be playing our key players. I'm looking for Paris Campbell on offense. Darren Waller, what can they do? How are they going to do? With DJ, what type of connection? And defensively, I'm looking for a continued maturation of our cornerbacks, especially with the key starters out there. And um, you always talk about it, the edge. But I'm not looking for edge in terms of pressuring the quarterback. I'm looking for edge in terms of rush, setting the edge and filling on the rush, and then behind them in terms of Robinson and Nacho, how do they fit in on the defensive line?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna be paying attention to the offensive line, as I usually do, as well as the D line, man. But yeah, I want to see this offense in total go down the field. If the starters are out there, get it in the end zone, at least put some points on the board. Because you know the Giants weren't able to do much in the preseason
Mm-hmm.
game, with the backups, man. So your starters is in there. We expect this team to have a good offense. Go down the field, man. You can't score I mean, you can't put it in the end zone every time, but go down the field, man. Offense, I want it to look crisp. You know what I'm saying? I want it to be on schedule, as they say in football, not get dumb penalties, moving you back to 3rd and
Mm-hmm.
20 and shit like that. Stay on schedule, go down the field, have a good drive, get some points. If you don't score on the first drive, go down the field on the second drive, get some points. Got 2 drives, in my opinion, because it seems like coaches, I don't know, you could comment on this, but it seems like coaches, they'll give the team 2 or 3 drives and then they'll start pulling starters. So to me, you probably got about 2 drives with both team starters in there, if that's how it works out. And a lot of times the coaches have been collaborating on these things since the preseason has been shortened, and they've been doing a lot of joint practices, man. So Daniel Jones and his offense to go down there, man, and get some points. That's what I'm looking for. Have a clean, crisp drive, man, and show us, man, or give us a glimpse of what this offense can be, man. Because a lot of us have high expectations. Some the
Mm-hmm.
other half of the fan base is doom and gloom, but us over here with the Big Blue Crew, man, we have high expectations for this New York Giants team and our quarterback Daniel Jones. So do what you need to do, DJ. Do what you need to do, Kafka, Dable, man. Go down there, man, and show us what you can do, man. And I'll be good, man. And pull these guys because we don't want no injuries. and,
Mm-hmm.
and and let's get out of there, man. Relatively healthy, man. That's
One
the
one
second
other
thing.
thing to your point there, about clean drives or whatever. In terms of the fan base, I'm gonna be honest. You have to come out with a win against this team. The Jets just annihilated this team with reserves. So if you don't, that's going to intensify all the talk and all the drama leading up to that game. You have to
Mm-hmm.
put points on the board and control this team. I mean, I'll be honest. I felt I for a second I felt bad for Bryce Young because there was a play where he got
Oh man.
annihilated in the beginning of that game.
Oh
When I
man,
said,
I missed that. I'm gonna go watch the Jets because we're doing
yeah,
Heart of the City
hmm
Tuesday, so I'm gonna go back and watch the Jets preseason
bro,
game.
all I got to say is that one hit that he took, I was just like, oh my gosh. So,
I'm
but
assuming
yeah,
Aaron Rodgers didn't play.
no, 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 no.
Yeah.
You had Wilson and
Mm,
27, whoever he, I mean, no, who's 7, whoever he is, played.
mm,
So, I mean, I was checking it out. So, but
mm,
the Jets won 27 to nothing. So that's what I'm getting at. So it's a preseason game. I get it, and I'm
mm.
for that. But we as fans, the fans are going to take it up another level if the Giants are, and Carolina played with some of their starters. So,
Mm.
it's like, okay,
Yeah,
well,
if it's starters versus starters, I definitely expect us to put foot, where you know what I'm
exactly,
saying, because yeah,
exactly. So,
Bryce and Carolina's quarterback situation and Wink Martindale, which he's not going to scheme, but if he has a chance to scheme against your rookie
hmm
quarterback, it's going
hmm
to be trouble.
and
So
that's what I'm looking for. And it's more of because we face the Jets the following week, and it's just, what, if it's a tight battle and the Giants lose or they come out winning 20-19, what's going to happen with those Giants fans who are too pessimistic, and of course Jets fans, you're going to be talking out the wazoo no matter what. So, and I just don't want to deal with that. I just personally,
mm,
if it
nah,
happens, I'll be honest with you, I probably won't be on Twitter and social media.
I
I'll probably just go on, post what I gotta post, and then jump off, because it's like I'm not going to deal with it. I just don't want to deal with it.
they do have a way of spinning things. But in all reality, man, you're not worried about a win or a loss in a preseason game
Mm-mm.
unless you go out there and just get smacked around. You know what I'm saying? And then that's kind of like ugh. But if something like this, 21-16, which the Giants should have actually won this game if they were trying to win, they probably would have won. You could tell, but they just it's preseason, so we're not.
Basically.
You know what I'm saying? We're not trying that hard.
No,
You know what I'm
I'm gonna be
saying?
honest with you. It's those first two Tyrod drives that stalled out, because we ended up in field goals in with
Right.
those, after
Mm-hmm.
interception and then turnover on downs deep in their territory, and we end
Mm-hmm.
up having to go get 6 points out of both of those drives. To me,
Yeah.
that was the opportunity, that should have been 8 more points that was on the board to give us 14. You do that,
Mm-hmm.
that's your win right there. So. And
Absolutely.
kudos to the Lions and Coach Dan Campbell. They're doing their thing over there, and people can sit down and poo-poo them, or they have to see it until otherwise. And it's going to be Minnesota. I even had one person say it's going to be Chicago. I'm like, okay, I mean, Chicago did their thing. They're not going to be easy out, but you think they're going to win that division? But again, kudos to the Lions and Coach Campbell.
It's yeah. It's Detroit. It's Detroit Lions, man. And I was actually at the draft, talking to some Lions fans, man, and Lion fans have had a lot of heartbreak in their
I got
and
family.
they were a little nervous about the draft. But to speak on the Lions, man, I know we had Leaf on here earlier. I didn't mean to run bro off, man. You know what I'm saying? But this is a
Mm-hmm.
football show. That's my guy. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, the Detroit Lions are going to be that win that division. They are the class of that division right now. They have Dan Campbell, not Dan Campbell, Jack Campbell, the
Mm-hmm.
linebacker
Played
that
his
they
head.
drafted. They played his ass off. They have Jameson Williams. Jared Goff is a decent quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Their defense is very good. It's legit. Their D line is legit, y'all. We seen it in the game last year, man, and they're all getting better. So the Lions are going to be a good team. So that's what I'm saying. You're facing a good team. You're a good team. You're facing a good team. You expect a close game. You expect kind of a back and forth like we've seen with the two
Mm-hmm.
practices. So don't get overly optimistic and don't get overly pessimistic. This was a good
Mm-hmm.
test for the Giants in this preseason game and with these joint practices. So I'm good with everything that I seen. My confidence is still high with this team, but yeah, it's yeah. The Lions and Browns have had it rough, man. Don't sleep on Cleveland either. Cleveland Browns might Watson is right and look out. You know what I'm saying? Because they got a pretty good team too overall. Um, I don't care. We don't win a preseason. Doesn't mean anything. It's fun. Yeah, it don't mean nothing. I think it's what the Ravens go like win every preseason game, but they haven't done anything for a very long time as far as Super Bowls. So you got things like that happen. It's just you just have to watch it from a coach's view. That's why we got coach here. You got to watch it from a coach's view and not a fan view, because the preseason games are about coaching, about teaching your younger players, and your veterans as well that's new to the team, you know what I'm saying, what it means to be a New York Giant and what type of team we're trying to put out there, whether it's not so much scheme, but fundamentally, sound. I want to see the Giants play some clean football. I don't like the penalties. Some of the things that go down, you know what I'm saying? It seems like when I watch Giants games, just from a fan perspective, every time they have a big play, I'm looking on the field for the flag, and I want the team to play a little bit cleaner moving forward come this season, because we're going to have some close games against some tough teams, man. And a lot of times the difference is that one penalty or that one negative play that you had that ruins the game or stalls drives out, like Coach said, you know what I'm saying? And it's too frequent with this team right now, because they are a young team. When you're young, you make mistakes. You're not as sound. You're still learning. You're still growing. So that's why I'm saying the team, they got something to build off from last season. Let's see this team take it to the next level now. He says a dude, Rob was ripping Joe, saying he should be in rebuild and not running it back with DJs. Yeah, I ain't gonna comment on Rob because, but people have their opinions, unpopular as they may be. This unpopular opinion, sportsman. I'm your host, NYG22, Coach Ed Gladney, man. Appreciate y'all coming through, man. And we're going to leave you with the Big Blue Crew outro, because we are the Big Blue Crew. First sponsor commercial, man. Go Travels, your go-to for sports travel. If you are trying to attend the game or and I'm so excited because my website is launching this week. Look out for that. It's going to have great content, great things on there, man. Ability to contact us, man. We got different packages, different layouts for different types of travel, man. Some fun stuff, man, coming up, man. This football season, man. This sports season, man. NBA coming up too, right around the corner, man. So y'all keep it locked here, man, on Popular Opinion Sports, man. But go visit Go Travels, man. Your go-to for sports travel, man. But like I said, shout out to Coach Ed. Check out Coach Ed's Read and Attack show. You know what I'm saying? I was looking for your podcast. You didn't do your podcast, Trash Talk, Coach?
Oh, I was going to do it yesterday, and
yeah, I was on it. I was waiting in the chat room. I'm like, oh, yes, can't go live.
No, it's my fault. It's my fault. My granddaughter called me right when I was going on, and she wouldn't get off, and I was just like, fine. I was just like, you know what? I think I was on the phone with her for like an hour. So it was just like, I kept saying, I was like, baby, granddaddy has to go. And she's like, kept saying, it was just, but I miss you, granddaddy. And it was just like, I can't let it go. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
It's all right, man. But definitely check out Coach's Smash Talk, Trash Talk podcast, man, show, man. Excellent, man. Excellent work by Coach, man. And we looking forward to these breakdowns, man. We might have to do something soon, Coach.
I did game strategy last week. I did the game strategy with the offensive line. So
So keep a lookout for that, man. Like I said, and all the Big Blue Crew, man. All our links are in the chat or in the description of this video, man. So shout out to the crew, man. Bring you the best content, sports content on YouTube, man. But till Tuesday, y'all. Heart of the City, man. 8:30. Be there or be square, man. We out.
Shadow Worlds Radio, a radio media outlet. The Read and Attack Show, Coach Ed's Amazing World of Sports. Go Travels, the go-to for all your sporting events. Wise Consulting Solutions, the wise choice for a better future. The Big Blue Crew, the best damn sports network on YouTube.
This is a Big Blue Crew production.